You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
The final twist in the story of Melissa Howard's run for state office will tell you what she has now decided after admitting she lied about her credentials.
And a major nursing shortage here on the Suncoast. We'll have a live report on just how one local hospital is trying to attract more nurses to the area. And Senator Bernie Sanders is headed to Tampa. We'll tell you where he's going to be and how you can attend the rally. Those stories and your Wednesday forecast. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now.
Good morning. Glad you're with us. It is August the 15th, and I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Over to John Scalzi for the Wednesday forecast.
Yeah, and it looks pretty good too. We have a wind shift that's taking place now, returning us to a more typical summertime Florida pattern. And that means less of a problem with these morning showers that have at times been pretty heavy over the course of the last week. Today, I don't think you'll have any problems whatsoever with your morning commute in terms of weather. We'll have quiet conditions right straight through till the afternoon. Temperatures generally running a degree or two cooler than yesterday, but hard to tell the difference really. 75, mid-70s, upper 70s close to the coast. The rainfall futurecast puts in a chance of rain today, mostly in inland areas. We'll look for total accumulations of maybe a quarter inch under some of the thunderstorms that form. Complete forecast coming in a few.
All right, talk to you soon. Here's a live shot of Sarasota Memorial Hospital right there on US 41 in the Midtown area. Pretty hospital. We'll have a live shot from there in half an hour with Marla Spence, who will talk to us about the ongoing nursing shortage and what Sarasota is doing to combat that lack of nurses. But now here's a peek at our maps. First off, you'll see on State Road 64 westbound, some issues there as you head through West Bradenton, otherwise clear in that county. Checking farther south. Now here's the northern half of Sarasota County. We do have a new icon to report to you there, down there on Clark Road. We'll click on that and find out there's a southbound lane blocked on Beneva Road at Greenview Circle, not too far from Palmer Ranch there. Be aware of that if you live or are going in that vicinity. And then our final map to the south will show a little bit of red there if you look closely on 681 as you come off 75 and head toward the Laurel Nokomis area. An update this morning on that deadly bridge collapse in Italy. At least 35 people have died after a strong storm brought down the bridge. 30 vehicles and heavy trucks were on the affected section when it collapsed. Police say a structural failure is being investigated, and the number of casualties is unfortunately expected to rise.
And it was a scary moment for a train in Deerfield Beach. It derailed yesterday at the start of rush hour with 200 passengers on board. Now, the train was heading to the Miami International Airport when one of the train's wheels fell off at a switching area underneath an overpass. Thankfully, the train was moving very slowly and no one was hurt.
Now to a developing story involving a Lakewood Ranch political candidate who lied about her credentials. Less than 24 hours after the State House candidate Melissa Howard admitted to producing a fake college diploma, she announced she's going to drop out of the race after all. Now her primary opponent, Tommy Gregory, seen there, wins the nomination and goes on to the general election in November. Now as for Howard, well, the head of the Sarasota GOP says she did the right thing by dropping out now.
It's going to save the community and the Republican Party a lot of heartache moving forward.
Now, Howard isn't out of the spotlight quite yet. Florida law states that forging a college degree is a first-degree misdemeanor, and one local GOP leader has contacted the state attorney's office requesting it opens a criminal investigation.
Senator Bernie Sanders is coming to Florida to campaign for Andrew Gillum on Friday. Now, he's the mayor of Tallahassee and is running for the Democratic nomination for Florida governor. Now, Sanders and Gillum are holding a rally at 11 o'clock Friday morning at Armature Works in downtown Tampa. They're going to head to Orlando then for another rally.
Happening right now, early voting is underway in parts of Florida for the upcoming primary. 18 counties have begun casting ballots, but not Sarasota and Manatee counties. That starts for us on Saturday. New figures from the state show there are more than 600,000 more people registered to vote this year than during the 2016 election cycle. Looking ahead, if you want to dispose of old medications in your medicine cabinet, Sarasota Police will host an event tomorrow at their headquarters. From 5 to 7 p.m., you can drop off old pills in the police lobby. They're looking especially for opioids, which are the focus of an increasing number of addictions.
Well, for parents of children with autism, finding some fun places to go as a family can be a challenge. There's often too much stimulus or visual challenges, but Space Center Houston is giving a special lift-off to those families that would normally never be able to visit the museum after recently becoming the first of its kind to be named a certified autism center. Now, thousands tour the Space Center every year. They get a close-up look at how NASA trains their astronauts. Now, for adults, it's educational, it's very cool. But for kids with autism, it is a trip that they will never forget. Now, the staff there is fully trained. They have these sensory bags that are given to kids, and they even have a quiet room available whenever the kids may need to take a break.
When you have a child who you don't know how is going to react to certain sights, smells, sounds, and things like that, you have to try to preview it.
They enjoyed it. They enjoyed it, and I didn't see, believe it or not, any major sensory going on, so I think that was a good thing.
Now, the center also has a sensory night event where the sounds and the lights are turned down, making it a more comfortable and safe place for parents to bring their kids with autism who wouldn't otherwise get the experience.
All right, well done. And now on to Stephanie's favorite story of the morning.
Oh, still ahead. One of us gets to say the words, "A man spanks a hippo," on the air. And it's actually a real thing. We're going to have the strange story, probably the best of the week when we come back. But first,
You're enjoying that story too much.
I love it.
There's a shot outside our window right now. Pretty peaceful out there in the Rosemary District. What do you have on tap today, John?
So it looks pretty good for us today, although with a slightly below average rain chance, it will not help the fire danger index, which is spreading southward. Now, many of the counties on the west central coast of Florida are in a moderate risk for fire danger. Air quality index has risen just a little bit, but it's still comfortably in the good zone. We're looking at a particulate being the biggest problem. If you're taking a walk on the beach, I've increased the number of beach balls to 3 from yesterday's 2. That's out of 4 beach balls, and that's because of slightly better reports from Moat Marine regarding the amount of irritant in the air at the beaches due to red tide. Complete forecast in a second.
It's summer on the Suncoast, and you know what that means. It's Friday Fest season.
And you are invited.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy some of today's most popular country songs, mixed with a healthy dose of hits from pop, rock, dance, and the blues, August 17th with Sarasota's Rebel Heart.
With high-energy music, food trucks, beverage vendors, and more, it's the perfect spot to enjoy our summer sunset over the bay.
For more information, go to this number or go to mysuncoast.com/FridayFest.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Get more for your money during the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Sunset Subaru. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. Now, lease a new Subaru Forester for just $229 a month or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with the family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, canoeing, camping, and more. Or challenge yourself on Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy a Deep South dining experience. Book your adventure in one of our members' lodges or stay at the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Like ABC7 on Facebook to stay connected to the team you trust. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 74-degree air temperature. We have a dew point value coming in at 72 as well. So slightly less humid conditions outside this morning. You may notice it. It's not a huge difference, but it's there. A 10% chance of a shower near the coast in the morning. Virtually no chance. We'll watch the chances rise to about 30% in the afternoon as we develop a sea breeze. And that sea breeze clashes with a newly shifted wind out of the east that could bring us a change in pattern that'll last probably 4 or 5 days. We're looking at quiet conditions right now across west central Florida. In fact, most of the peninsula is quiet right now. A little trough of low pressure that we had earlier on this week that brought lots of rainfall to the Big Bend region is in the process of dissipating away, leaving us with dry roads. This morning, your morning commute looks to be, well, just fine. High pressure, the dominant weather feature out in the Atlantic. Winds around it coming in out of the east or southeast today. That'll bring us a collision with the sea breeze, the local sea breeze that occurs with the heating of the day. And most of the showers that form when these two winds meet will produce showers and thunderstorms on our coastline as opposed to the other coastline for the most part. And that will bring perhaps a more standard, typical summertime pattern for us, in that we'll see the showers build inland, slowly drift back to the coast. I say sort of a typical summertime pattern because unlike a normal summertime summertime afternoon, we'll probably have fewer of the storms around that build inland and move to the coast. And the reason for that is some slightly drier air has ridden in on this general easterly wind flow. So wind shift brings this new weather pattern. We have this drier air moving in this week that's going to reduce the number of storms to giving us a daytime rain chance that's slightly below the average. And we'll have some warmer temperatures consequently because we won't have as many cooling showers. Our future cast kind of depicts this pretty well. Quiet through the morning hours, quiet through the early afternoon. Then we'll watch the storms build as the east wind collides with our west coast sea breeze, firing off sometimes a thunderstorm or two, but generally speaking, less rainfall than we might normally have. And then those storms tend to dissipate or gradually move slightly closer to the coast and drift off to the north. That'll be the case. Now, the drier air should limit the number of storms that we get over the weekend as well, and hopefully also bring us a little bit of relief along the coast with our red tide sufferers. Now, as those winds shift a little bit more to the east, we're noticing some of the Mote Marine reports coming in a little improved over the last couple of days, in that, say, Coquina Beach and the Comus and Minnesota are being reported as having low concentrations of the irritants in the air, as opposed to moderate or intense, which has been the case in the past. So there may be some slightly improving conditions over the next several days. Hope so. South-southeast wind coming in at about 10 knots this evening. That'll bring you a light chop and 2-foot seas. And the forecast for the 7-day forecast looks like this. 30% chance of rain today. Tomorrow, daytime highs a little bit warmer, coming in at around 91. Drier air filtering in reduces rain chances further on Friday, and I think we can carry that trend into the weekend. Only about a 20% chance of rain, so most outdoor activities should not be impacted whatsoever by rainfall. And then as we head into next week, we'll start to bring that moisture back and slowly increase our rain chances. Back to you.
All right, thanks so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check out your first alert traffic. The roads are starting to get a little busier as they do around this time in the morning. You can see some hot spots right there on 41 and 301. A little bit more traffic starting to get out there now for your morning commute. Then in Sarasota County, those roads are not looking too bad out there so far just yet. We do have that one spot near Gulf Gate Estates to tell you about if we can pop that back up. Beneva Road in the southbound lane, there's a lane block there at Greenview Circle. So again, Beneva Road in the southbound lane, it's blocked right there at Greenview Circle. And if you're headed a little bit farther south, 75 and 41 are still running pretty smoothly so far this morning. At 6:14, that's your first alert traffic.
Look at this. There's 2 new sea lion pups at the Miami Seaquarium. These little folks, male and female, were born in June. The Seaquarium wants your help to name them. The male was born first to Wahoo, and the female was born to Sushi. The Name the Pups promotion continues until September the 14th. Any ideas?
Wahoo Sushi.
Wahoo Sushi.
Just put it all together in one. I like Ray Collins. I like Stephanie Webb.
Want to submit that?
Okay, we'll submit those.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
All right.
Well, here's my favorite story of the morning. A bizarre zoo incident all caught on camera, just the way we like it. And for once, didn't happen in Florida. A California man could face charges after getting a little too close to the hippos at the LA Zoo. Now, in the video, you can see him sneak over like this little wall right here and spank a hippo on the rear end because, yeah, okay, there we go. Just to spank the hippo. Now, it's not clear if this guy knows that he's being recorded, but he's clearly trying to show off. The LA Zoo is now looking at pursuing some trespassing charges against this fine, upstanding individual.
I don't think it was his rear end, though.
It is his rear end.
You think so?
Yeah, I think there's one that's standing by him, isn't he?
Oh, there's 2 there.
Look, see, there's like a rear end.
There's 2.
Yeah, there's, see?
I thought it was just one very homely one.
See, there's a baby and a mama. That's what it is.
The other one says, what just happened?
Stop spanking my child.
Yes. Buy me a drink first.
Oh.
6:16 first.
In this hour's Health Smart, some good news for those of us wanting to stay curled up in bed a little longer for some more sleep.
Who could that be? It turns out the sleep is not just good for our bodies, it's also good for our social lives. Where's this going?
Yeah, we're less cranky.
ABC's Arlette Sines explains the connection.
Most of us are aware that a good night's sleep can help us lose weight, become energized, and improve our memory. But did you know that sleep can also improve your social life? A new study out of the University of California, Berkeley, in the journal Nature Communications found that people felt lonelier and less inclined to engage with others when they hadn't slept. In other words, the less sleep you get, the less time you want to spend with other people, and the more lonely you feel. Experts also found what they call contagion here as well. Rested people who spent time with those sleep-deprived seemed to catch the loneliness and wanted to interact less with the person who didn't get enough sleep. National surveys have shown that nearly half of Americans sometimes feel lonely or left out. Experts hope these results will help us get more sleep and more social interaction. Good sleep seems a plus in another way. Not only will it help you become healthier, better looking, and more alert, but you may also find yourself happier with more friends. With this Medical Minute, I'm Arlette Sines, ABC News.
How many more naps can we take in this shift?
I don't know. I'm up for like at least 2 or 3 more in this day.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
The rescue of a couple trapped inside an ice cave for 2 days. We'll tell you just how they ended up there. Plus, Marla?
And there's a critical nursing shortage nationwide. What Sarasota Memorial Hospital and one local nursing organization plans to do to help out with that shortage, that's coming up at 6:30.
It is 6:17 right now. There's a nice shot outside our studios. Should see a high of 91 degrees today. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Investigate TV tackles the tough topics.
What happened to my life was awful.
When your health is compromised, we investigate.
They are really drug dealers in white coats.
Corporate greed exposed.
How do you trust them to run this program?
The powerful held accountable with in-depth journalism led by award-winning journalist Lee Zurich. We're your watchdog. Search Investigate TV on your Roku device. Download it now.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone.
Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Hunger is a growing problem in our area, and a huge number of Suncoast residents are suffering in silence.
It could be your coworker,
Your child's classmate.
or your friend fighting to secure their next meal. But you can help.
ABC 7 is partnering with local organizations to help feed the Suncoast.
Go to mysuncoast.com/hunger to join the fight. Help us.
Help the hungry.
The ABC 7 First Alert weather app just got even better. It's easy to use once you download it. First, tell the app to follow you, so you get alerts pinpointed to exactly where you are. Then customize your settings with all the places you go, from the beach to grandmother's house. Get accurate alerts for everyone you care about. You can even pick which weather alerts and categories you want and what they sound like. More ways to customize and more ways to keep your family safe. Download the ABC 7 First Alert weather app today. When ABC 7 declares a First Alert Weather Day, it means we can expect major changes to weather conditions here along the Suncoast.
It means there could be severe, potentially dangerous weather ahead.
We tell you when a First Alert Weather Day is coming because we want you to be prepared.
A First Alert Weather Day is an advance warning. We'll let you know about any changes in the weather when the first signs appear.
ABC 7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
Welcome back. It is 6:21. Love this next story. A 4-year-old little boy got to meet some of his favorite superhero friends while he was in the hospital. Little Anthony is having trouble breathing on his own, and as he battles an inflammatory condition that causes scarring on both of his lungs. So he has to spend a lot of the time in the hospital. So to put a little smile on his face, the NYPD stepped in and delivered big time. Look at him. He's getting pushed by Batman. Spider-Man is greeting him. Catwoman even showed up to surprise Anthony. His mom says this extra special day took his mind off being in the hospital for a little while, and it's a day that he will never forget.
Wonderful tribute there.
Yeah.
Also, a nice honor for former Bucks coach Tony Dungy. The team will induct him in their Ring of Honor in the stadium. They'll do it during the Monday night game against the Pittsburgh Steelers next month. The Bucks went to the playoffs in 4 of his 6 seasons with Tampa Bay.
My family, our kids have grown up here. We've gotten connected with the community. People ask me now what's my hometown, and even though I was born in Jackson, Michigan, you know, my hometown is Tampa, and that's what you hope for. It's been very, very special, and the night of the 24th is going to put a cap on things.
Now, Coach Dungy has actually raised 10 kids in Tampa, 7 of whom are adopted, and we will have exclusive one-on-one. We're going to be sitting down with the coach right before his Ring of Honor ceremony next month.
He is beloved, and he's also, you know, Tony Dungy was fired.
Yeah, from the Bucks. Yeah.
In came John Gruden, next season won the Super Bowl with the Bucks.
Yep.
People say, hey, Dungy built that team.
Yes, and that was a lot of big time. But I've met him on several occasions and interviewed him and asked him that same question. He is so humble. He doesn't want to take credit for any of that. He just puts it all right back on the team.
He is beloved in the country.
He's
a motivational speaker and, yeah, nice guy as well.
Yeah, does a lot of good stuff. Now, just how did a couple get trapped inside an ice cave for almost 2 days?
ABC's Kenya Whitworth has this story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, it was supposed to be a birthday celebration for adventure-loving couple Jessica and Spencer Christiansen. They were in the Wyoming Darby ice caves.
A lot of ice, very cold. The walls sparkle because there's so much ice.
You can see from this video what the inside of the cave looks like. Dark and freezing, surrounded by ice and water. The pair, who are experienced climbers, suddenly found themselves lost and stranded.
She dug out just 1.5 inches, maybe, just enough to get me to wiggle through.
The caves, so dark, they were disoriented. Then hypothermia began to set in, and the couple feared they might never see their 1-year-old daughter again.
So that's terrifying to think that you're leaving your kid alone with no parents.
And we'll have more on the search and rescue mission coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Kena Whitworth, ABC News, Idaho Falls.
The emotions that bring us together shouldn't drive us apart. But when you experience sudden, frequent, uncontrollable episodes of laughing or crying that are exaggerated or simply don't match how you feel, it can often lead to feeling misunderstood. This is called pseudobulbar affect, or PBA, a condition that can occur from brain injury or certain neurologic conditions like stroke or dementia. New Dexta can make a difference by significantly reducing pseudobulbar affect episodes.
Tell your doctor about medicines you take. Some can't be taken with New Dexta. New Dexta is not for people with certain heart conditions. Serious side effects may occur. Don't take with MAOIs or if you're allergic to dextromethorphan or quinidine. Tell your doctor if you have bleeding or bruising. Stop if muscle twitching, confusion, fever, or shivering occurs with antidepressants. Side effects may include diarrhea, dizziness, cough, vomiting, weakness, or ankle swelling.
Ask your doctor about the only FDA-approved treatment proven to reduce PBA episodes. New Dexta.
Temperatures are rising and the deals are heating up during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wranglers. Or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Clogged pores are disgusting. Introducing DermaSuction, the easy way to suck that yuck out of your pores. DermaSuction removes blackheads and dirt from your pores. Just look at everything it extracts. The secret's the gentle vacuum action. Watch as DermaSuction extracts so much yuck, leaving your skin feeling clean and youthful.
The gunk that had been pulled out, I was pretty horrified, but better in the DermaSuction than on my face.
It's almost addictive because you can see all this stuff coming out of your skin that you don't even really know is there.
Call now to order your DermaSuction for just $19.99. We'll also include our small and large body probes, the Sonic Microdermabrasion probe, and the handy travel case, all absolutely free. Order now and you can double the offer. Just pay a separate fee. You can get all this, but you have to order now.
Call 1-800-213-9301. That's 1-800-213-9301. Or visit dermasuction.com. So call 1-800-213-9301 now.
Introducing the ABC 7 First Alert Weather Tracker. This all-new mobile weather lab is just one more way. The team you trust is keeping you ahead of the storms. The ABC 7 First Alert Weather Tracker, sponsored by Mr. Sparky, America's on-time electrician. ABC 7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Hi, I'm Chef Alan. This is Chef Tom. We're from the Publix Aprons Cooking School. Tom, what are we cooking up today, buddy?
We have a breaded fish with a salami salad and a lemon aioli.
Nice.
We're going to start out with the salami here, this Genoa salami. We're going to heat that up a little bit.
Gotcha.
We're going to add our tomatoes to it and a little bit of lemon juice, about a tablespoon.
All right.
We're going to make our aioli. Going to put a little bit of ginger paste in there.
Now you buy the ginger paste in the produce department,
In the
don't you?
produce department. Comes just like this. Perfect. A little bit of lemon zest in there.
Gives it that lemon flavor.
and a little bit of lemon juice. Just that thins it out a little bit, also gives it a little bit of lemon flavor there.
Good.
We're gonna put our arugula. We're gonna mix the salami with the tomatoes, the sauteed tomatoes, inside the arugula. Mix that up, put the fish on top of it. That's the presentation right there.
Let me ask you, Tom, if you wanted to use something besides arugula, you could use like a mixed green lettuce, right? Or could you use kale with that?
Absolutely, absolutely you can. Some people don't like the arugula. It has a peppery taste to it. You could substitute other mixed greens if you'd like to.
And you can wilt those down and really make it great?
You can wilt those down. You can make it, we didn't wilt them down as much here, just for television presentation, but you can wilt them down as much as you want or actually cook them and brown them up a little bit. They'll give you a little different flavor to them.
Fantastic. Now, what kind of fish did you use today, Tom?
This is a cod that we used, and you can find this in the Publix frozen food section. 2 of them come per pack, which is
that's
terrific.
Great.
Yeah,
that's a
and
really
it's already
nice
breaded
looking
like
fish.
That. You just bake it.
Beautiful. Great. Looks great, Tom. Listen, starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Publix Apron Simple Meals kiosk, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients after sampling this delicious, delicious meal. Looks fantastic, Tom. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Chef Ellen.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
A decades-long cover-up by the Catholic Church in Pennsylvania, exposing hundreds of priests and revealing that at least 1,000 victims of child sexual abuse there.
The local NAACP making some strong accusations against the Manatee County School District.
And a major nursing shortage here on the Suncoast. We'll have a live report on what one local hospital is doing to attract more nurses to the area. Those stories plus your Wednesday forecast. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now. And good morning to you, or welcome back at 6:30. I'm Stephanie Webb.
I'm Ray Collins. August the 15th. John Scalzi has details of the midweek forecast for us. Kind sir.
Well, it looks pretty good for us this morning. We have that little wind shift that we've been talking about all week long, kind of beginning to take place today. An easterly wind flow, keeping those showers out in the Gulf waters. Now, I know that looks pretty impressive out there, but, you know, it's pretty far away from land. So what you're looking at with the radar being that high in the air is a lot of cloud water and, frankly, some probably radar artifacts as well. So this is a much smaller system than it appears on radar, not to worry. Closer to home, I don't think we're going to see any rainfall this morning for your morning commute. Looks pretty good. Temperatures are generally running a couple of degrees cooler than the last 24 hours, 75 degrees in Arcadia and Mayaca, closer to the upper 70s as you get closer to our coastline. Forecast for today calls for quiet conditions through the morning hours until we get to the afternoon, when we'll put in a lower than average chance for rain. Complete forecast in a second.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now. Traffic is building on State Road 70 in particular, particularly between 14th Street West and State Road 301, US 301 rather. Otherwise, not too bad in Manatee County. Checking farther south. Now, here's the northern half of Sarasota County. Still an issue down there in the Gulf Gate area. Beneva Road southbound, a lane blocked at Greenview Circle. That's in the Palmer Ranch area. And then our final map for the south and the Venice area will show nothing to report at 6:32. New details now about the incident yesterday in London where a car hit some pedestrians and cyclists. 2 people were injured and taken to the hospital, minor injuries. The driver was a man in his late 20s. He was arrested. Surveillance video shows he drove his car directly at pedestrians. Police treat this as a terror incident and are working now to find a motive.
Well, a critical nursing shortage continues across the state and the country, and it is an issue that has been going on for a while now.
Marla Spence tells us now what's going on locally to attract more nurses to the Suncoast. She's live outside Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Marla?
Hey guys, this morning a local nursing organization plans to hand out scholarships in the latest effort to help to recruit more nurses to our area. Now that organization called Suncoast Nursing Action Coalition will be right here at Sarasota Memorial Hospital this morning to award 22 scholarship recipients with $74,000. Now it's all in hopes to help boost the local nursing workforce and nursing school faculty on the Suncoast. Now this morning those 22 recipients will be getting getting the chance to meet donors as well who made funding possible for those scholarships. We're told Sarasota Memorial Hospital is actually pretty much okay when it comes to the amount of nurses at the hospital. SMH has seen a 20% increase in the past couple of years. A spokesperson for the hospital tells us what could cause a decline, though, for the hospital and what's currently causing the nationwide shortage are the amount of retiring baby boomers in the industry. That spokesperson also tells us that scholarships awarded today is all in hopes of preparing new nurses to be able to take the place of those retiring nurses once they decide to leave the nursing industry. Reporting live in Sarasota, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
This morning, accusations of discrimination against several Manatee County school administrators. Now, last night, the president of the local branch of the NAACP criticized the school board for its hiring and firing practices. Now, he's pushing the school board for an internal investigation regarding discrimination allegations, specifically against administrators in the Human Resources Department. Now, some of those allegations also include employees losing their jobs after filing complaints. The NAACP says discrimination has been going on for years, but only now are people finally willing to come forward.
In hiring practices, promotional opportunities, you name it, even discipline. It appears that our white counterparts receive different discipline than black, especially administrators and teachers, different levels of discipline.
We investigate everything. That's what we have multiple attorneys for. That's what the board is for. We'll make sure that it gets investigated thoroughly, and if it warrants action, we will definitely do it.
Now, the NAACP says they plan on bringing these complaints in front of the Florida Department of Education as well.
Manatee County trying to figure out how to remove lots of red tide remains on the beaches of Manatee County. The county does not have a marine fleet to remove fish in smaller canals and waterways, so commissioners met to discuss how to help private homeowners pick up the dead fish that pile up in the canals in their backyards. Starting today, Manatee County will make dumpsters available at Bayfront Park on Anna Maria Island and at 3 county-owned boat ramps at Coquina North and South, and also Kingfish Boat Ramp. Commissioners are also asking for help from local fishermen who are willing to help homeowners who need their canals cleared of the dead fish.
Charlotte County is now under a local state of emergency as well because of their red tide outbreak. Now, this helps business owners in the county apply for disaster loans if they've been economically impacted by the red tide. Small business owners can qualify for up to $50,000 per business. Sarasota and Manatee County business owners also qualify for those same disaster loans. And the city of Sarasota has shut down a public pool because of that red tide. Lido Pool will be closed today and Thursday. City officials say the closure is necessary because of odor and poor air quality. The city plans to reevaluate conditions tomorrow. But in the meantime, the Lido Pavilion and concessions will also be closed.
It's not a sad story here. Sarasota restaurateur Steve Seidensticker has passed away. He has been battling cancer for about a year. He was the founder of Tableside Restaurant Group, which included local favorites like Libby's, Louis Modern, the Muse of the Ringling. A memorial fund has been set up in his honor with contributions benefiting the Miss Susie's Newtown Kitchen, the latest project on which he was working. Steve Seidensticker was just 65 years old.
Well, switching gears to a mini baby boom at an Oregon hospital. But it's not the patients, it's the nurses. Get this, 9 nurses all on the same unit are all pregnant at the same time. Reporter Amy Frazier has a look at the perfect timing of the nursing staff.
Guys, there's so many. The line is long and beaming with smiles. 9 nurses in the neurotrauma care unit at Salem Hospital, pregnant at the same time. The first baby is already here.
Yeah, one born. There's 5 of us due, I think 4 in September, 1 like October 1st.
The others are due by January.
We all kind of released that we were pregnant at like different times. Some people told other people like right away. Some people waited until they were done with the first trimester. So it just started this cascading effect where it's like, oh, well, I'm pregnant too.
They get a lot of jokes, like there must be something in Salem's water.
Besides the blue algae, I don't know.
The women swear their husbands don't know each other and didn't coordinate things.
I think most of these pregnancies were all planned. We just somehow planned them all at the same time.
But they do confess they're a close-knit group as nurses who care for stroke patients and those with spinal cord injuries.
Helping the community, because we know it's going to be a community that we raise our kids in, is just really, really important for us.
On any given day, there's no shortage here of motherhood advice.
It's pretty cool because there's 4 of us in the same week, so we're going through each week with each other, so you can kind of compare notes and get tips from the ones that have done it before.
Salem Hospital is also planning for so many nurses on maternity leave. Managers say there won't be any gaps in patient care as they support their nurses and their growing families.
You always see them walking down the hall holding their bellies, which is like an innate thing moms tend to do. So it's really been fun, and it's been exciting, and I think it's been a great team builder for them as well.
Now, as if the 9 nurses weren't enough, there's also a nursing assistant who's also pregnant. So if you include her, that's 10 on 1 unit.
I heard there was a very raucous holiday party last year at that hospital. Is that possible?
It could be all at the same time because they're all due, like, right around the same time. First one has already been born.
That's what I'm thinking. 6:39 right now.
Crazy. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
The latest church scandal, this time in Pennsylvania, will tell you about a grand jury's disturbing findings. But first, this is a look at Sarasota Bay, Longboat Key.
Gorgeous out there.
Love
We'll
that
return
shot.
to some of our drier weather.
Yes. What's the story, John? Yes?
Looks good.
Speak.
Looks good. Yeah, I don't have any of the boxes checked on the inclement weather forecast for drive time this morning. It'll be nice out there. We'll look for upper 70s on your way to work. On the way back to work, we'll have inland storms perhaps building along our sea breeze front, drifting back to the coast. And all the airport hubs serving Sarasota International running on time according to the FAA. We'll be back with weather.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today. You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
If you don't want to fall immediately into love, look away. If you don't want to awaken a desire for excellence, look away. If you don't want to be seduced, please look away.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
I heard about the Dottoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dottoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
All children deserve a shot at success, and it starts with having all of the necessary school supplies. ABC7 is partnering with Gettle SOS Support Our Students to make sure Suncoast kids have everything they need to succeed. Go to Gettle.com for drop-off locations and to see other ways you can help out. Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app. Now your ABC7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
A 74-degree air temperature and the change in our weather pattern underway now with an east wind coming in at about 3 as opposed to a more southerly wind or even southwesterly wind that we've seen all week long. A mix of sun and clouds out there with more sun than anything else as dawn breaks on the Suncoast. Looks pretty nice. Little chance of rainfall during these morning hours until we get to about 3 o'clock this afternoon when we'll max out our rain chance at about 30%. At that point, most of the showers will be inland. They'll slowly drift back to the coast or drift north as they dissipate. So, quiet on the Suncoast right now. West Central Florida looking pretty good. Showers out in Gulf waters, but they'll stay there. Our area roadways look just fine in terms of weather, and that's how it's going to be for the morning commute. High pressure, the dominant weather feature now in the Atlantic, bringing us this southeasterly wind flow. That southeasterly wind flow tags our sea breeze as it builds in the afternoon. The two collide, and that's where the showers and thunderstorms will begin to form. We'll have better coverage on the west coast of Florida than we will on the east coast of Florida for several days in a row as we develop this easterly wind flow. So we'll have a wind shift today, bringing new weather pattern. That's the east wind as opposed to our west wind that we have had. We'll have drier air moving in. We haven't really talked about that yet, but riding on this easterly wind flow will be some drier air aloft that will limit the number of storms that form. And we'll have some warmer temperatures as well. So a new subtropical system is formed out in the open waters of the Atlantic. This one, number 5, is located far away from us out in the center of the Atlantic. There we are, so a good distance away and on a forecast track that will continue to carry it out into the open waters of the Atlantic. It's a fish storm. It won't bother anyone. And in fact, it only has a few days, I think, to survive and become a named storm possibly. All computer models suggest that its low-pressure center will lift up to an area that will eventually take it up into this location right about here. And on this map, which shows the ripping winds aloft, red is conducive to tropical storm development, and that's what it has right now and will for a couple of days. And then it moves into high shear environment that'll tear the storm apart, and that will probably cause it to become nothing but a remnant low, which won't bother anyone. And also water temperatures right now are in the marginal zone for tropical development, but as it lifts northward, it moves into the colder waters of the North Atlantic, and that'll cause it to just basically fizzle out. So about a 2-day attempt of this storm to become another named storm, which, if it does, will be called Ernesto. Again, it's one for the history books. It has no impact whatsoever on the state of Florida. We'll look for a southeast wind developing this afternoon, coming in at about 10 knots. Should be a nice boating day with the exception of the red tide that's out there, 2-foot seas, light chop. Perhaps that easterly wind might help some of the sufferers of red tide by carrying some of that toxin back out into the open waters. 10:38 low tide, high tide 4:12. Forecast for the week ahead looks like this. We'll have 91 today, tomorrow. A little bit of drier air starting to filter in, reducing rain chances for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday before the moisture begins to return next week. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Let's take a look outside and check on the traffic so far this morning. Now 41 and 301 in Manatee County, starting to see some a little bit more congestion and some delays as a little more traffic picks up. The bridge coming over into Bradenton is also starting to get a little busier right around now, but it usually does that. In Sarasota County, we do have that one spot that we've been following for you all morning. If we can bring that up near Clark Road, Beneva Road in the southbound lane. There's a lane blocked right there at Greenview Circle in Sarasota. Now, if you're heading a little bit farther south into the area, 75 and 41 are still running pretty clear at this point. It is 6:47, and that is your first alert traffic.
Former White House staffer Omarosa Manigault Newman continues her accusations against President Trump while the White House is looking into legal action. She may have violated her signed non-disclosure agreement with her book and her round of interviews. President Trump has gone on the attack, calling her a crazed, crying lowlife, adding that it was good work by General Kelly for firing that dog. Omarosa says there's a tape of Trump using the N-word during the Apprentice days. The president says that is not true.
Well, disturbing new details this morning about a 900-page grand jury report revealing a massive cover-up of priests sexually abusing at least 1,000 children in Pennsylvania, with some of that abuse going back decades. Reporter James Dinan has a story.
The grand jury report pulls no punches, accusing church leaders of covering up decades of sexual abuse, reassigning priests, and never contacting law enforcement.
All of the victims were brushed aside in every part of the state by church leaders who preferred to protect the abusers and their institutions above all. Priests were raping little boys and girls, and the men of God who were responsible for them not only did nothing, they hid it all for decades.
The report documents hundreds of cases of abuse pulled from the confidential files of each diocese, detailing that church officials knew of the abuse and their steps to keep it hidden.
These documents from the diocese's own secret archives formed the backbone of this investigation, corroborating accounts of victims and illustrating the organized cover-up by senior church officials that stretched, in some cases, all the way to the Vatican.
In naming 99 priests in the Diocese of Pittsburgh alone, the report takes to task even reformers like then Bishop, now Cardinal Donald Wuerl, and current Bishop David Zubik. It describes Wuerl as approving an out-of-diocese reassignment of known pedophile priest Ernest Paoni, and Zubik of reassuring Wuerl that the files on the priest would be kept confidential, something the diocese tonight disputed. The report also says Wuerl offered convicted priest Richard Zula $180,000 after Zula threatened to expose other priests. Again, the diocese denies this, and Wuerl issued this statement, quote, "While I understand this report may be critical of some of my actions, I believe the report confirms that I acted with diligence, with concern for the victims, and to prevent future acts of abuse." The diocese says it now removes priests from ministry and contacts law enforcement with the first credible allegation, but the record is a painful one, and it's not clear if the church can redeem itself from the sins of the past in the eyes of the faithful.
All right, 6:50 right now. Still ahead, your top 7 headlines before 7 a.m.
That includes a final look at your Wednesday forecast and why fans of the Cleveland Browns could be scoring some free beer. Emphasis on the scoring part.
We'll find out more about that coming up on Good Morning Suncoast.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here, because
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds.
No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC7 wherever you are on our live stream on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com. Click on the Apps tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real.
You can recover.
It's possible. It happens every day.
Never give up on yourself.
Discover hope and help.
The world is a beautiful place again.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
Welcome back. It is 6:53, and here's your top 7 before 7.
Number 1, John Scalzi's First Alert Weather Forecast.
So what do you take with you as you head out the door? Take sunglasses and your First Alert Weather app, because there will be a few scattered storms around today. Our current temperature 74 degrees. Watch for the afternoon storms to build inland. And don't forget, we're always with you on the First Alert Weather app and social media. Back to you.
Alert traffic is number 2. Some problems on Fruitville Road in the westbound lane at Beneva and Tuttle. Also down by Clark Road in the Palmer Ranch area. Beneva Road southbound, a lane is blocked at Greenview Circle.
Number 3, Sarasota Memorial Hospital is trying to fight the current nursing shortage by offering over 20 scholarships to attract more nurses here to the Suncoast.
Number 4, the smell of red tide has caused the city of Sarasota to shut down the Lido Key pool today and tomorrow. They'll reevaluate tomorrow after the conditions present themselves. The pavilion and concessions will also be closed.
Number 5, strong accusations of discrimination against several Manatee County school administrators. The NAACP claims that discrimination has been going on there for years, but only now are people willing to come forward.
Number 6, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders coming to Tampa to campaign for Andrew Gillum. He is the mayor of Tallahassee and is running for governor of Florida.
And number 7, free beer for Cleveland Brown fans. Well, maybe.
Yeah.
The team went winless last season, and the season before that, the Browns only scored 1 lone victory. So a little incentive from Bud Light, who is planting these smart victory fridges all around the city. So when the Browns finally get their first regular season win this year, the fridges will pop open and voila, free beer for everyone.
An excellent promotion because the Browns might not win a game.
Listen, I, as a longtime Detroit Lions fan, I completely relate to the misery that the Browns fans go through. How are your Bills? They've been good over the years. Like,
Buffalo Bills haven't done much since the early 1990s. That's why I've jumped off the bandwagon.
You had Jim Kelly.
We did. It was the glory days are long since over.
Barry Sanders.
All right, we're gonna end now switching gears and show you a live picture from the campus of Stoneman Douglas High School. First day of school there in Broward County at this particular high school. 20-foot tall fences, 52 new security cameras as well.
Absolutely. A lot of new security measures in place on that campus, as well as other schools around the campus. You are watching Good Morning Suncoast, and of course, Good Morning America straight ahead.